Hey, this is Cheryl Clark from PhenomenalSpeeches.com, and in this video I wanted to share with you a few tips on how to host a successful Q&A session after your speech or presentation. Hosting a Q&A session after your talk is a great way to reinforce your main points, clarify any questions or concerns, and also engage with the audience a bit more before the afternoon or evening ends. So here are a few tips that I think you may find helpful. The first one is to arrive early if you can and mingle with the folks who are going to be in the audience. A lot of times oddball questions come up during Q&A sessions and it catches the speaker off guard. Hopefully by arriving early you can kind of get a pulse, get a feel for what people are most curious about, what they want to know about, and kind of sift out the oddball questions ahead of time. It will also make folks feel like less of a stranger to you when you're speaking to them. Another tip is, if you can, ask the MC or whoever's introducing you to tell the audience that there will be a Q&A session at the end, so folks don't jump up and bolt out after it's over. If you don't have an MC, then you yourself say that at the top of the speech. Another thing is, if you're going to be live streaming or engaging folks online, be sure to let folks know ahead of time and a few times during the speech what the hashtag is for those who are following. And if you can get an assistant to call some of the questions that come from Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and punt the best ones to you, that will be great, so the folks who are watching online don't feel left out. Another suggestion is to lead the Q&A session with some things that you want to drive home a little bit more. So instead of saying, does anyone have any questions, and leaving it at that, you can say, does anyone have any more questions about, and then fill in the blank. Or was there anything that I said or mentioned that wasn't clear that you need more, that you'd like to discuss a little bit more? So leading a little bit will help. If you have a plant, someone you can plant in the audience to get folks going. A lot of times people are shy and they don't want to speak up, they don't want to be first. So perhaps you can have someone who just sparks and gets the conversation going, and then it can keep flowing after that. Speaking of folks who are shy, another tip, if you can, again, depending on the size of the room, this works better with smaller engagements, is to have sheets of paper and a pencil, so that people who are a bit more introverted and shy and don't want to raise their hand in front of everybody can write down their question, pass it down to whoever is helping host the event, and then you can then read it aloud. Two more things rather, is when you do get a question, repeat the person's name who asked the question. Then you can personalize your answer a bit more and repeat the question itself, so that those in the audience who didn't hear it get a chance to hear what you're answering, because sometimes folks presenters just answer the question and 50% of the room never heard what the question was. So those are a few tips that I have. I hope you find them helpful. I have a lot more on my blog, PhenomenalSpeeches.com/blog. If there's any questions that you have or comments, please feel free to leave them for me. Send them to my inbox. I'd be happy to respond. And that's all I've got for today. Have a great week.